A very warm welcome back to Stone Valley for episode 18 with me, MrSealyp. A few more contracts overnight. I really can't help myself, can I? Payout overnight from the biogas plant, 43 grand, not bad at all. Very happy with that for a night's work. As you have just seen, I was busy during the night. Most of the night, midnight, we got, was it 43 grand? I think it was something like that, for the sugar beet that we took up to the biogas plant yesterday. Stupidly, the biogas plant takes straw, doesn't it? I think it does. And one of the comments said about taking the spare straw to the biogas plant. And I stupidly took it to the bale sale point rather than the biogas plant. Let's go across. Yep, of course it does. Oh, I could have got digestate. Anyway, I sold the spare that I had, so my silos are full, and yeah, I sold the spare. I then planted, so I've got soybean in field 6. So we've got rye, sugar beet, soybean in our fields at the moment. As you can see, the money has gone up quite considerably. Now, there's still some kind of controversy over all this. This is hours put in. there's no quick fix. I've said this before. If you're new to the game, actually what I need to do is just repair. I think I did the tractor. Yeah. There's no quick fix. A lot of people comment a lot when the game first released, and people put up the videos, quick ways of making money, and there are quicker ways than others to make money. I always found doing silage bales, especially without seasons on. You run over a field with a tractor and a baler, especially with the new fast bale, which we didn't have originally. What am I doing? And then take your silage bales to sell. It's a fairly quick way to make money. Repeat that a lot on big fields with plenty of grass, and you can make money. You can do pretty well. Contracting on maps like this, where you're getting paid well, is okay, but like I said before, the flip side of that is the fields are massive, so they take ages. So whilst you are getting a big payout, it takes a long time. So if you're watching, like I've said before, I'm not going to, it's that rinse repeat thing, isn't it? Which is what farmers do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what farmers do. I'm not going to keep showing me doing contract work, because if I'm fertilising a field is fertilising a field is fertilising a field. Unless I use some new machinery, which I'm thinking about buying now, is getting something different. So this setup I may well be getting rid of. I'm definitely getting rid of the tractor. We're going to upgrade that. So yeah, whatever map you're on, doing contracting work works. Depending on the size of the fields will depend how much you get. It depends what the map maker has set it at. Some maps you get paid way more for field work than you do on others. That's just the way the maps are set. So if you're watching it, and in the last episode I was on 900 and something, I think it was, and I've got up 300,000, don't for one second think, oh, it's ridiculous, it's too easy. It's not too easy, because I've put in a load of hours to get to this point. Bearing in mind, we did the change on this map on episode 15, didn't we? 15 was the reset. So I've done 16, 17, I'm now on 18. I've got 25 hours on the map since the new reset. 25 hours. That's all the contracting work, all the stuff you don't see off screen. So it's not that kind of, it's making money too easily. I'm just not showing all of me, because like I say, if I showed you me doing the last 7 or 8 fertilising contracts, you'd then be saying, oh, what's the point? I don't want to sit and watch him fertilise in every episode. So it's a balancing act. It's a juggling act when you're doing anything like this, to put out content that's going to stay interesting and fairly fresh. People want to see progress on the farm. Now, you may feel the progress has been too quick. That's fine. You're absolutely entitled to your opinion. And doing a big American map like this was always going to be about building up to big machinery, duplicate machinery, 1, 2, 3, 4 harvesters, 2 lorries. It was going to be big seeders, big planters. To do that, you need lots of money. You're not going to be able to, if I plodded on doing small jobs and small contracts, and we were on episode 40 and I was only just about on 800,000, how would I ever possibly afford to buy any big machinery? So it's that trade-off, on a smaller map, on a smaller farm, you've got a little bit more luxury of building up slowly, because the machinery you're going to end up buying is much smaller and costs less. So there's a trade-off either way, whichever way you look at it. So yeah, there is no quick fix, there is no trick, unless you are going to use some of the potential cheap options. If you want to play the game semi-realistically, and that's what I've always said, I don't ever claim to play realistically, it's going to take time. You have to put some time in. I know that's not for everyone. I know not everyone has the time to, and that's what I get as well. What I need to do then, this is a tricky one. Right, what I'm going to do is just drop these off, because what we're going to do is swap this tractor out. I'm then going to go up to the store, we're going to replace this tractor, and I'm also going to lease the equipment I need for doing my test plot on field 35, because we're going to do sugarcane, but I need a sugarcane planter, because like I said, stupidly I forgot and thought, oh yeah, I'll just use the one I've got, which obviously I can't do. My cedar planter has been brought back in, it has been repaired, it has been sprayed, it's in the shop, it's ready to go. Fields are all planted, they're all growing. I'm up with all the current fertilising contracts. There are some cultivating ones, there are some harvesting ones available, but I've got a few other jobs I need to get done first. That's kind of, even if I look at doing jobs for myself in conjunction with jobs for local farmers, I've still got a few things I need to do. While we're driving up here, hopefully in a straight line, if we look across at the animals, we are now next animal in 8 hours, manure 523 litres, that's on the floor, I've been moving out of the way, slurry at 9,000, milk at 5,300, so they're producing. Cleanliness is down to 96%, that's going to need cleaning out. But because I'm not running seasons, the feed will last 6 days. It's 6 days in FS19, isn't it? It was 10 on 17. Honestly, my mind is swimming. There's so much information buzzing around in my head, not just from Farming Simulator, but from kind of everyday life and all the things all the things that everybody normally has swimming around in their heads, all the things that you have to worry about and think about and do day to day. Couple that with all the new mods, all the anything that's coming out, and then when you get onto a game, trying to recall bits of information, and then my mind's like, was that right? Was that 17? Was that FS15? Was that? Oh man. Where am I going to? I need to go. Actually, I can go right around the back. It'll be fun. The fertiliser that I bought, I think I've collected it all. Did I get all of it? Or I've still got some left. Yep, it's all gone. So I'm probably... Oh, actually, I'm not going to buy any more, because if I do go down the spray route, that's going to change, which I think I'm going to. I think it's time to change things up a little bit. I've got enough money, and I can make enough money now. But also I need to look at a cheap alternative for fertiliser, like liquid fertiliser. I'm not saying there necessarily is one, and I know a lot of people out there will have different ways they do it, different mods they use, that kind of stuff. Right, that's all repaired and good, so we'll sell it for 39 grand. We're not going to make a lot of money on it, but that's towards the new one. The new one is where we get into this tricky zone. And I know this isn't very narrative based, but this might help people that are new to the game and don't necessarily understand the slot count or anything like a slot system or anything like that. But if I go onto here and we go to garage, you'll now see that my slots are sitting top right hand corner at 975 out of 1299. That was sitting on 1021 well, I say a minute ago. And if you look across the bottom as I scroll across, you can see the little grids at the bottom of each one. The Case Puma is 15 slots. That one's 50, the Steiger. These two say 2 each. The first one was more, but obviously you buy a duplicate and it drops the slots down. The same with the harvesters. They're both saying 2. One of them was up around, I can't remember what it was initially now, but then the slot count drops. So duplicates always work out rather well. So my options now are, and in all honesty, I'm not that bothered about too many options. I just want a tractor to do the job. So looking at medium tractors, I want to get a 7200 Pro. Now even that standard one is 25 slots, but that's half what the one was I just sold. The problem is, a few that I've looked at that are available to purchase from other manufacturers or other companies, there's that one which has got loads of options for adjustability, but that's 49 slots. That's more slots than the one I just got rid of. Yes, there are more options. Yes, there are things that can jazz it all up and look a bit better. But in all honesty, for what I want, I mean, it's mainly it was mostly going to be for spraying and stuff. But if I'm going to be doing spraying now rather than spreading, that's not necessarily the case. No pun intended. But I'm now wondering, do I actually need it? Because if I'm going to get a self-propelled sprayer, What will that extra tractor do? I've got 2 lorries. I'm going to buy another tractor, but a bigger one. And if I'm not using it as a spreading unit, do I need it? And you know what? That's just hit me. Literally just now. I had every intention of coming up and buying that tractor. I'm going to leave it because at the moment I don't need it. I know this is a lot of people, oh, it's loads of waffle, get on with the farming. But this is all part of playing the game. This is all part of doing it. This is the thought process behind why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't want to just suddenly end up next episode. I've got a load of different tractors and people don't know how I got them, why I got them, where they came from, that kind of thing. So, it's time. We are big budding. When you look at the price, oh man, it's an old tractor, but it's a biggie. 1100 horsepower. Look at that thing. That is nuts. Now, I'm going to get it with the twin wheels. It's an extra 12 grand for the twin wheels, and it looks awesome with the twin wheels. But for going up and down the road, you're better off having it on singles. And then when we go from the farm, we can pretty much, we can work something out. But if I go with that, it's a bit more pricey, but it means I can bounce between the 2 sets. Do I want it on triples? No, not on this map. Certain maps you can probably get away with, but I'm not going to. But that's what that's what I was intending to buy. I did say I was looking at getting a big bud. I did think about getting another Steiger, but I wanted to go much bigger with the horsepower to give me more options for seeders, planters, all that kind of stuff. So, again, why? Those reasons, plus I want it. I want to get one. So, we've just got ourselves a bud. And you see already how quickly the money goes down. You know, you can spend hours and hours and hours making 400,000 and then bang, in an instant, it's gone. Yes, you've got a new vehicle. And that's, for me, half the fun of playing this game. It's like going shopping, isn't it? It's that buzz of, I've just built up this money, I've earned this money, I'm going to go and buy some new machinery. And that is so cool. Oh man, look at this thing. See, I don't even know on doubles whether that will get out the gate. Should do, shouldn't it? So, like I say, we haven't got enough money to buy the bigger stuff yet, but it does give me the option. It does also mean that I can run the cultivator and the planter that I've got at the moment on the Steiger and this. That still baffles me. It doesn't have beacons, does it? No. Oh yeah, we can get out the gate on the doubles. The weird thing is, it's like you look at it in the store, you look at it in the yard, and you think, oh, that thing is huge. Then you get out into the open countryside, and it just seems to disappear. You know, it's like, I mean, it's still a big vehicle, but you think, wow. It's absolutely crazy. But this was what I intended right from the very start. We were going to get up to big machinery. I know I kind of guess I've leaped over the quad track thing, because the quad track will go up to 600 and, I want to say 675. I know there's a few different modded versions and stuff out there, but some of the sort of standard in-game ones are quite heavy on the slot count too. I know, I'm sorry I keep banging on about it, but I'll try not to from this point. It's not easy, but I'll try not to. So this one's going to park up for a minute, and I'll grab the Puma when we get back. We'll go back and we'll get the Sugarcane planter. We'll get some cane in the ground. I've got nothing to harvest at the moment, none of my own fields. I'm wondering about whether it's worth, I don't know if I'm going to get into the yard with this. I might have to go in from the side here. I'm just thinking about grabbing the cultivator out. Maybe there's a cultivating job we could crack on with, but what I'll do to start off with, let's pull this up. So, Steiger was go big. This is go bigger. And we have gone bigger. Or just gone bigger, I guess. Let's have a look. Oh man. I can't imagine the Welker boys running through these. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, obviously not this specific one. They've got the slightly smaller ones, a little bit smaller, but they're still running 3 buds. Now, spray options, and this was what I was going to look at too. We'll have a look in here while we're on our tablet at Sugarcane Technology. I'm going to go for the 2-row billet planter because I just find it a bit quicker and easier than a single. What do I go with? Actually, you know what? I think I might go with the drive less. That's got a 12,100 litre capacity. That's got a 9,440. I'm always, because I don't do sugarcane very often, I'm going to lease that because we're going to need it. Requires 200 horsepower. We've got that on the Puma. Because I don't do sugarcane very often, I always get it wrong, you know, with how much I need. I can never remember whether it takes loads to plant or it doesn't take very much at all. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. That's not a problem. So that's that. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, sprayer. So what we have got available to us is this. Now I've got a few options, and there are a few modded options that I still haven't used yet that are available. I did use the Rubicon, and because I used the Rubicon on Washo, I've decided I'm not going to go with that. The Big Brute has been recommended by quite a few people. Slot count, look at the difference, 38, 15. Yes, alright, that runs out 48.5, this will do 33 metres, but in all honesty, I don't mind that. That one's 39 slots, that one's 35, so for 15, that's amazing. It does run a bit faster. Tank size, that's 9,000, that's 6.2, but 6.2 is not to be sniffed at. The other thing about the Big Brute is that we do have the ability on the back, it's got a hitch, so I think we can hitch up. Someone said it's got a hitch. Maybe not. Someone said you could hitch up trailers on the back of it. Am I just missing something there? It doesn't matter if you can't. So I'm thinking, you know what? A nod to the Welker boys, Nick and Scott. What I find hilarious with the Welker Farms thing, their dog that goes in the cab with Dad is called Kobe. Kobe is my son's name. Isn't it weird? Funny old world. Anyway, rim colour. Actually, I think, yeah, to make it a little bit all chrome, that's a little bit blingy, I think. I'm going to go with black. Attaches. There we go. Plus trailer hitch. That's why I wasn't looking at it. Yeah, we'll go with that, definitely. Wheel setup, standard, wide. I don't know whether to go with narrows. I mean, narrows looks a bit odd, in all honesty, but it might be quite handy for certain jobs we're going to do. It's a big decision, isn't it? Standard. I'm going to go with those. They look a little bit more flotation-y at the front. But anyway, we'll see. Regardless, I'm going to give the spraying situation a go. So we're going to go with a bit of spraying. Big chunk of money again. But I've got a load of crops in the ground. So I know when they're all ready to harvest, we're going to make money back. That's not a problem. So what we'll do is... I wonder if we could bring back... Can we bring back the sugarcane planter with the Brute? Maybe. I'm just trying to think, where can I get liquid fertiliser from at a good rate? I'll have to have a bit of a look around. Have a bit of thinking of that. Right, bear with me a second. In answer to my previous question, no, I can't collect it with the Big Bud because the sugarcane planter has got a 3-point attacher. I've got a couple of IBCs of liquid fertiliser. So that's that. Now the liquid fertiliser I've got, I think, is a mod, and I'm sorry, I cannot for the life of me remember who it's by. I've also realised when I did the last video, I'm sure I said at one point I was going to put the name of a modder up, and I forgot to do that as well. I'm so sorry. Interesting. Oh no, I'm not going to talk about slots again. So these ones. Oh, now this might have been. This was part of the big bag lifter pack, not the one the CS said, but this was the big bag lifter. I'm sure it was, wasn't it? No, not that. If we go into here, and there's the big bag lifter mod, but you've got these bags as part of that. So there was the bag lifter. You got those bags. I'm pretty sure those IBCs came as part of that pack. And they're under here. So if we look at the standard in game, herbicide there, 2,000 litres for 2,400. This one is 3,000 litres for 2,800. no-brainer. Now, there are probably cheaper options. Like I say, there's probably loads of modded buy points, buy silos. There's the shipping container one as well. There's a few knocking about where I could probably get cheaper fertilizer. But for the time being, that's what I'm going to go with. At the end of the day, it's a cost. It's a farming cost, like anything. You know, one thing I've found by watching the Welker Boys, by watching Millennial Farmer, how farms work, Tom Pemberton Farm Life, Cole the Corn Star, all those guys, is they don't want to be putting these things on their fields. They don't, because it's expensive. They don't want to be putting down expensive fertilisers, fungicides, herbicides. It costs money. They're always finding ways of making sure they only put it down where they need to, how they need to, the minimum amount they need to. They don't want to be spraying it willy-nilly all over the place. They don't want to be, you know, everyone says, oh, it washes off, it pollutes the groundwater. You know, they really don't want to be putting on too much because it's expensive. But it is a cost. It is something you have to factor in. I know I'm preaching to the converted. I know people know this. Right, on to this. Let's go on to this now. So, sugarcane planting for planting sugarcane. Here's the thing. It's not regular seed you need for doing that. Again, we're on to pallets. And if we scroll across, just here, we've got sugarcane pallet there for 280. So, whereas a normal seed pallet is 1,000, if we go up here, so our seed bag there is 1,000 litres for 900. This is going to be important. These ones are 2,000 litres, but for 280. My thing holds 12,000 litres, doesn't it? So I'm going to buy... I don't know how much I'm going to need. I'm going to buy 10, I think. And even 10's only 2,800. So, yeah, why not? So... Did I just buy too many? One, two, three. Oh yeah, probably haven't I may have clicked too many times. Right, so what we'll do is we'll now fill up. Now it's a fairly small field, but again, I honestly cannot for the life of me remember how much it takes. And it may well be you've just finished doing sugarcane, it may be you do sugarcane quite a lot. I have done sugarcane before. I've done sugarcane on various maps at various different times. I just don't do it very often. And again, like I said, with all the information in your head, I honestly cannot remember for the life of me. But it doesn't matter. It's you know, we'll use it. We'll get it done. Whether or not sugarcane is done in this part of Illinois or not, again, I'm doing it. I want to give it a go. Plus, I get a chance to use the sugarcane harvester again, which I absolutely love. It's not, it doesn't harvest at too much of a rate. It's not always that easy to hook up. I know trailer hookups to the back of it are a pain. I often just leave it running. I run alongside like I do with regular harvesters. But I just love the machinery itself. I think it's an amazing bit of kit. It's not cheap to hire. Again, this is more of a, like I say, it's a test plot. It doesn't even matter. I really don't mind that much if we do the test plot and we end up losing money on the test plot because it's a test. That's the whole point. It's just for me to, you know, have a go. I know. Oh, that is 11,000. Oh, it's because there's fertiliser as well. Of course. So let's get this down and let's get it in the ground. I want to get using the brute. I don't think I've got any fertilising contracts available. Typically, I've done them all, but I do want to get the bud out as well. I want to stick the cultivator on that and give that a bit of a crack too. But again, in my head, I'm already thinking. I love the fact I've now got more options. You know, I can look now at the bigger stuff, the bigger seeders. I'm still thinking I want to go down the Borgo route because I haven't really used that stuff. Yeah, I used some of the big bud stuff when the big bud pack was a DLC on 17. On 19 I haven't really used the big bud stuff very often, if at all. I don't think I've used the seeders or planters at all. That's why, again, I thought, you know, it's something I haven't used for a while. It's something a bit different. I could have just bought another Steiger, kept my slot count low, got another 535 horsepower tractor. I could have bought another one of the planter seeders we've got already, and I would have doubled my width. Of course, you know, I would have gone from 18 metres, or 18.2, whatever it is, up to 36, which is amazing. But the other part of me says, no, let's do something else. Let's try something else. So my rye is growing here for few spirits. The sugar beet, once that is ready to harvest, will all be sold to the biogas plant. That's going to be a big old job as well. It's always that thing again, in theory you think, oh yeah, I'll do that. Oh, that brings me on to another point. At the moment, I've got a bit of a problem. Because I did that thing of, let's plant alfalfa in field 29, because, you know, again, a bit of a test. I did the alfalfa field earlier, but I'm pretty sure as part of the update it said alfalfa will now regrow. I'm waiting for the harvest contract to come up for field 29 for alfalfa, because I'm just curious what it's going to entail. But field 10, I think I just did with barley. Pretty sure I just did with barley. Field 11, I didn't touch. I think I cultivated it. Overnight, that has been planted, and I'm pretty sure it's got potatoes in it. I'm not even kidding. Look. Field 11, potatoes. I cannot wait for that harvest to pop up and see what it's offering to pay. It's going to be monumental. But stupidly, I'm the sort of person that will go, you know what? Let's have a go. I know I will. I can't help myself. You must know that by now. So, I have a problem. Oh dear, right. Let's get this lined up properly. Again, I can never remember the width on this. Oh, sorry. Of course. Let's unfold. Let's turn it on. I'm going to do a few strips this way first to get my headland in. I need to come back and do that corner because I didn't go particularly well. Drop that back down. I suppose if I'm going to impart some wisdom, as I try to do every now and again, this is more aimed at the youngsters, any youngsters watching, kind of off the back of what I was saying earlier about making money on here, and it's a kind of microcosm, a metaphor for life in a way, and it's something that I think's missing. When I was teaching, it was something we talked about a lot. In a lot of schools now are going down, especially in the UK, going down this forest school route and kind of more nurturing environment, and you know, the perseverance and resilience. And I think a big part of education now, if it's not already, should be teaching children to problem solve. I think is a much more important, and life skills. I think general life skills is something that is kind of lost at the moment, and that ability to stick at something for a long period of time, you know, like I say, that longevity of doing something, it's far too easy, and I've found it a lot. It's far too easy to stop and go, I'm not doing this, it's too hard, or it's taking too long, I can't be bothered. And I think it's a skill that has, or is, gradually being lost. It depends how you bring your children up, and who you are, and what sort of person you are, and what sort of environment your children have grown up in, what they've been used to. But from what I experienced when I was teaching as well, you know, it is something that a lot of children have lost, and because they're living in this instant gratification situation, that everything is immediate, you know. I want to do this, but I want the reward immediately. I want, you know, I want to get this, I want to get that, I want to have this, I want to have that, but I don't want to have to work for it. I want it now. But I think the other thing people miss from having that, I say it's having that attitude. It's not. That's the wrong way of putting it. It's not an attitude. It's just the way people have been brought up. That's what they. It's all they know. But one thing I found when I was teaching in school, and we did try all different projects and systems and ways of doing things. One thing that a lot of people miss out on now is that long-term gratification, that incredible feeling and sense of achievement. You cannot beat that. That feeling that when you have done something, you have stuck with it, you've persevered, you've got on with it, to step back and say, I did that, you know, that cannot be underestimated. That you really can't replicate that in any other way. You know, yes, you can get these little micro, you know, sensations, these micro, you know, reactions of instant gratification, but I honestly think the other ones are they're longer lasting. You know, the short term ones, you move on to the next one. It's like, boom, done. Oh, I did that, fantastic, where's my reward? On to the next one. The long term ones, the ones where you've really worked at something, those are the ones that stick in your memory. Those are the ones that you'll look back on years later and go, God, remember when we did this, or remember when we did that, or remember when we built this, or fixed that, or whatever it might be. I know, again, I'm kind of a bit preachy, but if you're a youngster out there watching this, honestly, stick at it, whatever it is. You know, if you're learning to play an instrument, if you're learning to do, it might be something you really struggle to do at school, and that's the other big thing as well, is that kind of success and failure thing. Take every success you can get. You know, if you've learnt something new, it's a success, but work towards that bigger goal of achieving something more. Most of the things you want to achieve in life are going to be hard. They're going to be difficult. You know, there's no two ways about it. Unless you're one of those very lucky people that finds everything incredibly easy, things will be challenging. They will be a struggle. They will be hard. But when you do achieve it, that sense of achievement is enormous. It cannot be underestimated. And I think it's something that we need. You know, I suppose there's a lot of adults that are exactly the same, that don't have that don't feel that. You know, I still get it with even with my own channel. You know, that sense that I still can't believe where I started out to where I am now. I never thought for a minute I would be where I am now. And it hasn't been a quick fix. It really hasn't. I've been doing this 5-6 years now, something like that. And people do message me quite a lot and say, you know, I've started making videos, how do I get noticed? Or how did you build your channel quicker? How do you... And honestly, the only way I can say it, because it wasn't a miracle click of the fingers, it's just been work, just putting in the work, putting in the hours, putting in the time, building it up gradually, and, you know, I don't know. So I know I'm doing one of my usual kind of, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh, we like it. It's not a rant, but it's just a kind of... Anyway. I've talked for long enough. So if there's any youngsters out there watching, take whatever I've said, however you want to take it, with a pinch of salt, with the usual, oh God, here he goes again. He's being preachy again. I'm not trying to be, I'm just, you know. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to see in a little while. Yeah, I was right, we are getting through the sugarcane fairly quickly. And I say it's not a big plot, but we're going to get a fair bit of sugarcane off this. So yeah, this is double fertilised already, I think. Pretty sure it was double fertilised already. So I shall see you in a little while. No, don't stop there. What are we doing? I have left a worker doing field 35. I've taken on a cultivating contract on field 2. It's not a big field. Well, I'd say it's not a big field. It is a big field, but compared to some of the fields, this turns so well. The one thing with the brute, it hasn't got a fantastic turning circle. Oh, I've got plenty of room to get across here, look. I was worried about getting through the main yard, but I don't have to worry about it too much. It's got a nice turning circle. 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 It's got a nice turning cir So like I say again, this just opens up more options. It's going to be fantastic to have two big vehicles to be able to cultivate and plant, because it technically means then I can cultivate if I haven't fertilised already and plant straight after, rather than waiting until all the cultivating is done before I can get the tractor onto the planter. I can have them running side by side. Again, speeds up the process. Oh, this thing is absolutely massive. I'm wondering, I always get this wrong. There we go. I'm only able to do that to put the hazard lights on, four-way flashers, however you refer to them, because I've got a Logitech side panel plugged into my PlayStation 4. I know a lot of people will comment and ask, and they still are commenting and asking. It is designed for PC. There's not a separate PS4 one. If you do look online to buy one, it is just the Logitech heavy equipment side panel, or the bundle. If you go for the bundle with the steering wheel, it is designed for PC, but it works on PS4 and PS4 Pro. It doesn't work on Xbox, unfortunately, and it does give you the ability to have four-way flashes and a myriad of other instant button controls. And like I said, people then will often say to me, will often ask me, is it worth it? Do you like it? I honestly could not be without mine now. When we were away on holiday, I didn't take it with me because obviously it's attached to my desk. I can detach it and take it with me, but there was nowhere to actually attach it on holiday. Blimey, did I miss it. Honestly, I didn't realise how much I used it until I didn't have it. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what do I do now, you know? So yeah, I personally, they're not cheap, but if you want to kind of enhance your gameplay and you want it to be, you know, it's not exactly like being inside a real tractor or vehicle, of course it's not, but it's I love mine. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, that's there's no link for it. I just went on Amazon. I always say Amazon. So I went on Amazon and bought it from Amazon. So I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. It's just is what it is. It's yeah, cool bit of kit. This is ready to be cut again, so we're going to do hay on this at some point. I've got to go all the way around. I can't drive across my crops, obviously. I could get away with driving through field 10. Is it field 1? Side panel. Yeah, field 1. I could, because I don't own the field. This is the alfalfa field. I am regretting doing that now. But that was the harvest that was available. It was alfalfa. And I'm assuming, my voice is going again, I'm assuming that had I not touched it, the same as field 11 did overnight, it would have done it anyway, because that was the one that was next queued up to go in there. So that would have been interesting. We made it. So let's open it up. Turn those off now. I'm a bit too far over. Now a few people did comment as well, say they don't get on particularly well with the articulated tractors. They don't like them too much. I've never been I say a fan is the wrong word. Like I've said before, I love most of the stuff in Cayman, the machinery and equipment and stuff like that. But I found the Steiger, I said before, is quite sluggish. The quad track version that came out, I found to be less sluggish. This, I haven't found it to be sluggish at all. The turning is very crisp and very clean. I haven't found myself so far overcorrecting with it, which is nice. I do want to get to a point as well, now I've got two big tractors, of buying another one of these flexi coils, so that when I'm doing then on my own fields and then contracts, two of these running, absolutely phenomenal. So that'll be something I want to do too. We are going to build up and we're going to get a load of stuff. That looks so nice, isn't it? But again, zoom out a little bit. That is a massive piece of machinery. but it just kind of gets swallowed up in the landscape. You still look and think, that's a massive field. If I was using this bit of equipment on a small English map, you'd be like, oh, come on, seriously. It's ridiculous. I'll go around the field once, done. You know, so it's, yeah, I don't know. Madness. But I do like it, and I'm glad I bought it. Now, I'm very cautious. As I said before, when I'm doing sort of camera work, often I'll hire a worker, but what I'm going to do now is come off the worker, because I don't want it. I don't want anything going wrong and it going into my rye crop. That's not to say I won't, because I think one thing we've all found in the past is I, like everyone else, can make mistakes. We all do it, we all have done it. Oh, 9 o'clock. It's got a little bit brighter. Just a little bit more. There we go. Fantastic. Love it. The sugarcane planting on field 35 is complete. Now, I vastly overestimated how much I was going to need. It does, however, inadvertently lead me into a situation where I can show you something, especially if you're new to the channel, to the game, whatever it might be. Now, I alluded to this a little while back and I didn't show it, but I'm in a position now where I've got no option. At the end of the day, you know, what I could do now is just give this back and lose all the sugarcane at the back of here. But obviously we know we can unload what we've got. So, here's the thing. If you don't want to know what's going to happen next, and I'm going to tell you very quickly, this is a way to get cheap seed. Really cheap seed. Now, if you consider that cheating and you don't want to know, look away now. Skip ahead. If you choose to watch this because you want to watch it and find out, great. If you choose to watch it and you're going to be offended or upset, then you've made that choice now. You're choosing to be offended. That's entirely up to you. Okay, but what I'm saying is, you may not want to know. And I don't want to hear that, oh, you shouldn't be teaching people how to cheat. Look, this is part of the game. This is in here. I'm not going out of my way to show this. I've just finished doing the sugarcane. Oh no, I had way more than I thought. Hang on a minute, I bought 10. Oh, it's 2,000 in each box, isn't it? Oh. Okay, well this is going to be more, but never mind. Can't believe it. Anyway, not to worry. Not to worry. Not a problem. Right, so what I'm going to do, I've got to get rid of these, so I can't delete the pallets on the floor. So like I say, what you could do if you wanted to, if you've got all this excess and you don't want to do this, you don't think it's right, don't think it's fair, blah, 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 it's entirely up to you. You can just reset the trailer or give it back and everything that's in it will vanish. That's fine, that's one option. The other option is, because I've got all of this sugarcane in it, I can unload that. The thing about it is, that doesn't unload as sugarcane pallets, or at least it never used to. I'm assuming that that hasn't changed. So, I'm just going to say I haven't got enough space. If I unload this now, what's going to happen? L1, R1 and triangle. No, R1 and triangle. There we go. It doesn't unload as sugarcane pallets. It unloads as seed pallets. So that 11,000 litres I had in there has just unloaded as 11,000 litres of seed. Now, here's the weird thing. I buy these at 280 each. Right? 2,000 litres in each. So, for just under 900, I've got 6,000 litres there. 280, 280, 280, 2,000, 4,600. So 6,000 litres there for just under $900. If I buy one of these pallets, that's $900. Can you see where I'm going with this? So potentially, this has happened because I'm doing sugarcane. At the end of the day, I've got sugarcane. I bought way more than I needed. I had loads left in the planter. I've unloaded it and it unloads the seed. It is what it is, you know. But looking at it from that perspective of if you wanted to get really cheap seed, if I just go and buy a load of those, lease a sugarcane planter, load up the sugarcane planter and then immediately unload it, I'm getting an absolute ton of really, really cheap seed. Really cheap. So, yeah, like I say, it's not the done thing. But this is what I kind of alluded to a while back, and I don't know what episode it was, when I said about it can be done. But then, I don't know. The argument could be had that, I mean, this is just the in-game thing. This is just the way that the sugarcane unloads. If you go out of your way to do this, then yes, technically you are cheating, I guess. I guess, yeah, you are. But then there are plenty of modded seed buy points and various different options you've got available that can get you much cheaper seed. Is that considered cheating? You know, they're mods. The stuff's available. They're buy points. At the end of the day, every farmer out there will try to get the seed, fertiliser, everything for the best possible price they can. For the best product they can for the best price. You know, you don't always want to go for the cheapest because it could be absolute rubbish, but generally speaking, the best product they can for the cheapest price they can. So there's nothing wrong with shopping around. This is a little bit, you know, this is a bit near the mark, let's be honest. But it does work. So, you know, like I say, if you're not happy with it, then you should have looked away. Don't be cross or angry. You know, I haven't just done an episode where I've said, look, I think I did way back when it first sort of happened. It was that kind of hack type video. But I was doing sugarcane, I had a load left over. I thought I was going to use way more than I did. So all of that, I mean, you think about that now. We've got 11, 17, 21,000 litres there. So that 21,000 litres, is that right? Yeah, 21. I'm sure there's 21 there. If you take it round up to 1,000 for 1,000 litres, you're looking at 21 grand's worth. I paid 2,800. You do the maths. Maths. However you look at it. Anyway, it is what it is. I just thought I'd show you. So what I'm going to do now is grab one of my trailers up. I'll load this up into a trailer, then I'll put it into the silo. Contract on field 2 is finished. I want to get the brute out. But what we'll do is, no, that one, let's go across, collect on that. I don't think we've got a fertilising job anywhere. No, nothing yet. So, the two things I wanted to get done was one, buy the brute, one, buy the bud. No, I wasn't going to buy the brute, I was going to buy the bud. I didn't buy the other tractor in the end because, actually, like I say, technically it's rendered pointless. And if I want to use up the rest of the fertiliser I've got left, I can use this. So we're okay. What I will do is return that. So I need to go and grab a trailer, then we'll transport all that back down. That will get put into a silo. And what I will do while we're here, let's fill this up and get this down to the farm. First need to fill the soil. That's what I'm trying to do. Surely I can't unfold it. There's no way to open it. Let's get that door open. It's getting hot in here. Is it just to fill up one side from the back? Oh, there we go, from the back. That's all it was. Oh, I was panicking then. What have I done wrong? Actually, you know what I might do while we're here? Let's add to this. So, under... Is it under... I don't think it will be under here, will it? Oh, hang on, here we go. 10,500 litres. How much is that? 15 grand. You know what? We're going to get it in chrome matte. We could do... Actually, I think I will. Chrome matte, and then we'll go for white wheels. Go with trailer bogs. With decal? Where's the decal? Ah. I like that. What's the other decal? Am I missing one there? Oh, on the front as well. No, we'll just go with on the back. Capacity 10.5. What's that changed? 10.5 S SP. Oh, mine's gone blank. Well, let's just go with that for the time being. And by, I think, let's get a couple more of those. So we're almost full with that. Then what I'll do is grab the... that's why I've got the trailer attacher. Thank you for all those people that did suggest this as an option. There were a few of you actually. I think Dan Siegel was definitely one of them. And I'll fill that up as well. That combination together is going to give me a lot of distance. That is madness. So the capacity being less than you get on the Rubicon doesn't really matter if you do this, because you can go way above the Rubicon's capacity. I'm very curious to see how many more fields I can get done without having to come back and refill. Fantastic, right. That can go off. Let's get that back. Back up at the store. Considering what we have now technically saved on seed, I've leased the Agroliner 21,000 litre trailer. There's 21,000 litres here. I'm going to load it up, take it down to the store. The big bud is going to be retrieved and brought back to the main farm. We are still waiting on our crops. I think what's going to be happening next is, I think I'm going to double the herd. The 36 we bought, it worked out 30 grand for 12. That's right, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. It was about, yeah, 90. I'm sure it was about 90 grand for 36. So what we'll probably do is spend 90 grand and get another 36. But I'm going to split the herd. So like I said before, I'm going to go down the kind of route of the black ones are going to be Angus beef, and then the other ones are going to be our dairy, but they are all technically going to be producing milk for us because obviously we're in the base game. So with that being said, we have come to the end of another episode. I know I did a lot of chatting in the middle, but that's just me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you are enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying the progress. If you are and have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.